my question to you, Lewis, because, data, cloud,
Yeah.
security,
For sure.
IT, cybersecurity, breaches,
Yep.
intelligence, terrorism,
Yes.
right?
That's lots of words. Those are words.
One thing that I found was interesting is, unlike fingerprint scanners or Face ID, this biometric data can't be used on a device. It's not like you're using your phone with your palm and then scanning your phone. It's literally your palm.
Yeah.
So that means your biometric data needs to be stored on the cloud.
Mm-hmm.
Thoughts?
Lee, we missed a week.
Had
What
to
is
take a week off.
Yeah, so what's going on here? You got some freaking Benadryl on here or something?
Yeah, I got some cough drops. Jeez.
Got
Even talking about it's making me. Anyway, last week was rough.
Got
I
that
lost
purple
my
drink
voice.
or what?
Yeah, purple drank.
This is Canadian
That's
scissor.
right. Yeah.
So it's like completely safe.
Oh, that's boring.
In Canada, it's not fun. You go to the States, you can get the good stuff.
How have you been the last week?
I've been all right. I've been recovering. You guys have been hearing me at the office. Maybe, I don't know if Storm can hear me all the way from the production room, but
Yeah, there's a couple in my TikToks where I can hear it too.
me coughing in the background.
Coughing in the background, yeah. How about you, Storm? How have you been last week?
Feeling energized because we have a couple viral moments happen in the last week.
So recently, we've been posting way more on our TikTok, Instagram, and YouTube, and we've been going viral. Well, not viral, but like we've been doing pretty well.
Popping a bit, like six figures. We're not in the
Yeah.
7-figure club yet, but we've had a few 100,000 view videos,
Yeah.
which is nice. We're going to keep at it. We're going to try to do one short per day, which is
Yeah.
obviously a tall order, but
I think we can do it.
the community wants content. We need to give them content.
Yep.
Had a burrito for lunch, a little bit of corn stuck in my teeth, and I thought, why don't podcasts do challenges like you all have to do like a cob of corn before you start the pod, and the whole time you're just like talking through like something super uncomfortable for for the episode.
Just constantly licking your teeth.
Yeah. You like a brownie, it's like all like chocolate, like cake or like some cake caked in there.
God.
The nice thing about being off for a week was, well, number one, we got to focus on the shorts, and obviously that's been really rewarding. But number two, we've got a whole lot of stories to talk about. 2 weeks worth crammed into 1 week.
Wow.
You could call it a 2-for-1 deal,
A 2-for-1 deal.
or a buy one get one free,
buy one, get one free.
or a family size pack,
Oh.
or a double stuff.
Pause. You sicko.
What?
All right.
Double stuffed Oreos. What are you talking about?
Oh, yeah.
Anyway, we've got lots to talk about.
Lots
so
to talk about.
Should we
I'm
just
so excited.
Should we just jump right in then?
Let's
or-
just jump right in. Let's freaking go.
All right. Well, welcome to the Fast Forward podcast. I'm your co-host Lee.
And I'm your co-host Lewis, and welcome to the fastest growing Canadian tech podcast in the universe.
This week, we're going to be talking about how Apple is making a move into the advertising space, discussing the trend of crying CEOs, and I've also got another ice cream story with flavors you're not going to believe are real.
There's no way. Okay, I haven't read it, so I'm excited for that one. We're also going to be covering a story about a guy who put a Tesla chip implant in his hand, Reddit's big new partnership, and a rewind segment that will test how well you know the story of Google. I'm excited for that one.
All right. So first story, juggernaut in this space. Apple is about to become an advertising giant. True or false?
False.
It's actually true.
Why is it true?
So Apple's ready to make its move from walled garden to advertising Garden of Eden. And their goal is to take their 1% revenue that comes from advertising and crank it up to the double digits. Double digits. So we're talking like 10x, guys.
So why? Like what are they doing
Well,
to do this?
I mean, knowing Apple's all about cranking out as much profit as possible. And so many people own iPhones, MacBooks, Apple Watches, AirPods, subscribe to Apple TV, Apple Music, Apple News, Apple Stocks, Apple Fitness. So they realize they are leaving money on the table. Money that Meta and Google would never leave on the table. Money that they shouldn't leave on the table. So they're going to try to run ads on all of these things. And you're going to be seeing ads on your iPhone, on your $1,000 or more iPhone.
Do you know what's funny too? How when it convenienced them, they were like, "Oh yeah, like no ads, privacy, we care about it." And now it's like their turn to profit off.
Well, it's strategic, and I think And listen, Apple's a big company. I don't think they ever miss an idea. When they were talking about how they were going to do this, because they always plan things years in advance. When they were talking about this, it must have came up like, oh, when we start running ads, we could also really hurt Google and Facebook because we could remove the tracking. Mm-hmm. And then they probably thought, PR's at the table, and they go, yeah, but we can't do that after we start running ads. That will look malicious. So really, the obvious choice was, well, let's do the ATT, right? So that's app tracking transparency. Let's do that first. And then once that's rolled out and things start to settle, then we'll roll out our own advertising platform.
Tim Cook's a little scumbag for that. You know, what an asshole.
So, I mean, at the end of the day, it's competition. And right now, Apple's two biggest competitors are Google and Facebook. Mm-hmm. And Google makes 90% of their revenue from advertising.
Yeah.
And Facebook, get this, 98% of their revenue.
To be assumed.
Like, that's it makes sense that Apple would go straight for the jugular.
Yeah.
Take them out and then fill the void they created.
Yeah.
And honestly, when I think about this,
RIP to Storm for having edited this.
My first thought is, this is actually going to be a great tool for advertisers. Advertising in the App Store already is a thing, but I think advertising on all these other platforms will actually be really effective for developers, for product owners, for brands, business direct-to-consumer brands. So I'm excited to get my own hands on the Apple advertising platform.
Yeah, I don't know. I think the philosophy is just flawed. I think Apple, they took the high horse and said your privacy matters to us, and then now they're finding another way to just be able to shoehorn their way into this industry. So
the caveat is, and this is what because you could say the same thing to them, right? So if I'm Tim Cook, this is my answer. This is the answer they've publicly stated. Apple tracking transparency is about tracking users from a certain app after they leave the application, its owner, or its websites or whatever. Yep. So that's me going on Facebook, leaving Facebook to go to a website and being tracked there on the website.
Of course.
Did I add to cart? Did I look at the page? Did I look at a specific product? Not this product, but that product. So that the Facebook advertisers can focus more acutely to me. That's where Apple tracking transparency kicks in, right? The thing about what Apple's saying is they're going to continue to maintain that same privacy. So they're not going to track you after you leave the apps. But the thing is, these apps are everywhere on your iPhone. Mm-hmm. So they've got multi-touch attribution. They got you.
It's a freaking con. You know what I mean? At the end of the day, it's like Apple just wanted to be able to, like, they wanted to annihilate their competition.
What would you?
Not even just like compete against it, right? We're talking about completely annihilate.
Well, I wouldn't say completely annihilate. Both of them have good ad programs still. Facebook and Google both. They're just not as good as they were before.
What do you mean they're not as good? It's like saying 90% not as good.
No.
Dude, whenever you go on the Facebook app nowadays, it literally says iOS 5. Like, it literally, when it first pops up, it tells you how all the 6 settings that you have to enable in order to get the best experience possible on iPhone. 6 settings. Like, dude, iOS 15 literally was like, that was like a guillotine to Facebook.
I mean, but the thing is, they're still in business. So I wouldn't say annihilate. They're still alive.
Okay, they're still alive, but like, I mean,
not as good.
They're not talking about connecting the world in that way no more.
When it first happened, Zuckerberg estimated $10 billion in losses.
Jeez, that's generous. Like, so that's what I'm saying. For me, it's like incredible business decision. Sure, Tim Cook wants a pat on the back for a good business decision. Good job, Tim Cook. You did a great job, right? Your shareholders are really, really happy. But as a consumer, I'm just thinking like, oh, great.
Well, as a consumer, you can opt into the tracking. But what do you do I'm actually curious. What do you do as a consumer? Do you opt out or opt in?
I always ask not to track.
Okay, so you're happy that Apple gave you that option?
Well, for sure, yeah.
You just don't like that they are now going to advertise.
They're just dominating by using their excessive force. That's what it is, and I'm really interested to see what the antitrust laws have to say about this, because do you know how? I'm not sure. Epic versus Apple. Did that go to Epic's favor or Apple's?
I can't remember. I don't think I followed that all the way to the end.
Storm, do you want to just quickly look that up? But
in the meantime, this isn't the first time that Apple actually tried to launch in-apps.
That's actually true.
Ads. 2010 they called it was called iAd.
iAd. Yeah, this is
At least
That one
pulling up-
doesn't roll off the tongue as well.
that was the thinking. It was to put advertising into the apps, which I think today you can do a third party, like for Egg Game, for example, our little side
Unity,
project.
Yeah.
We used it in another platform for that. And
Yeah.
Apple apparently has no interest of getting into that space. And one thing I want to challenge your thinking, Lewis, on this is I get where you're coming from.
Yeah.
But just so we're clear, Apple's only going to be able to advertise at the same level that Facebook and Google can. So with the ATT, it's still in effect for them. So they still can't track beyond the applications and stuff. So they are on the same level playing field that they created. So they almost like took everybody down a notch, gave people their privacy, and now they're participating at the same level that Facebook and Google are. So it could be argued it's fair.
Because it's the SD. It's not fair because they have control of the SDKs, and they're going to be putting this into every single application.
Just their apps, Apple apps.
Just the Apple apps.
That's what I'm saying. So just like, you know how Facebook
so what you're
has
telling me is that they're not giving access to the APKs to the developers
to do what? To advertise?
to advertise.
No. Yeah, so they're not doing this. So this Apple ad idea from the past, they're going to leave that to the platforms that already exist. What Apple's essentially doing is it's becoming like Facebook or Google, where their websites, like Google Maps, for example, or Google Search, or Facebook Timeline, or Messenger, or Instagram, where on their apps you can run display advertising or search advertising. So, for example, I go on Apple Maps and I search physiotherapist.
Yeah.
You could pay to be number one, just the same way you can do that on Google today.
You can already do that on Apple Maps right now, though.
Yeah, Apple Maps and I think a couple others have that already. So that's what I'm saying. They're just doing the same thing.
I'm thinking, to me, just the way it is that it's I think it's Apple's way of quickly, like you take it down to the base level. The base level is that Apple needed to use their competitive advantage to squash competition, and that's what they did. And I'm curious to see they'll do nothing because the governments do nothing about these antitrust unless like you're the EU or something. But I'm curious to see what they're going to do.
I don't know, but I just want to say I don't know if it is quite past the line because they gave consumers what consumers wanted, which was privacy, and they maintained it on their own front. It wasn't like they were like, we want privacy when you use Facebook, but we want to take your privacy away when you use the Apple apps. It's like all the apps play by the same rules now.
But here's the thing: Epic Games. Did they win?
So it's funny because both Apple and Epic Games are appealing the court decision for different ways, but this is how it went down. The court ruled that Apple must allow developers to steer app users to external payment platforms, but concluded the company did not meet the legal test to be considered a monopoly and thus did not have to permit competing app stores for iOS apps. So both Apple and Epic didn't like that. They're both appealing.
No kidding.
Because I think Apple wants to keep people away from sending their app users off the platform doing transactions offline.
That was like the judge, like just trying to be like an annoying like devil's advocate. It's like just like
it's honestly
playing devil's advocate here, but I think Apple should let you, and then you did a bad thing.
I actually argue that's probably the right decision because to argue it's a monopoly when they only have like less than a third of the world's audience on their app store is hard. It's like the judge said, it's like hard to make that argument that it's a monopoly. And then second, to Epic's favor, it is also kind of wrong for Apple to say we're not going to allow your users to freely leave the platform and pay you money on your own website. So I think that was a good balance where as developers now, you can ask your users to say, hey, you don't have to pay for this on Apple and benefit from their transactions and Apple Pay and everything else. You can do it with your PayPal, right? Like that's what Apple says. Apple says it's convenient to pay for things on the Apple Store. It's protected. You get refunds, blah, blah, blah. But if you don't want those things as a user, you are not forced to use them. You can choose like the third party, whatever payment merchant and do it on like Epic's website. I think that's actually a pretty good compromise. I think Epic asking for Apple to just like change their rates and Apple asking Epic to just like keep all their users on the App Store, both those were a bit too far of an ask. So I don't know if I disagree with the judge's
I think Apple,
conclusions.
I mean, me and you might just disagree with this. I think the App Store is just a complete, like, it is a monopoly because they're hindering their abilities to do anything else on like the web, for example, in order to get people to go through that 30% revenue. But here's the thing: it's like anti-competition laws, right? Like, there's a difference between monopolies and then anti-competition, because monopolies just don't even happen nowadays, like for the most part, right?
Yeah.
But there's anti-competition laws, which has lots of times happen with our corporations nowadays, because what they do to make more money is by using their competitive advantage to completely squash in an unfair way to other people, especially in tech.
So you think here's maybe how we can summarize this too. Do you think Apple will be able to squash them?
To squash.
So for Apple to be what you're describing,
Mm-hmm.
and I think what you're saying has some merit. Do you think that if they're not stopped, they will be able to crush the competition?
Absolutely. You need referees in any game you play. And that's why I think with Apple, because again, and this is not like specifically, it's not Apple's fault, right? You don't point at the finger at Tim Cook. It's just kind of the system that we're in. But
so you think Apple could actually crush the competition over the next several years?
Oh, absolutely.
You think Google and Facebook might falter?
Oh, absolutely. Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, absolutely. And like, again, there some advantages are deserved, I believe, right? Like the ownership of the iPhone, like we can't just pretend that the iPhone should just not exist because it's too good, right? Mm-hmm. Like we have lots of other people in this industry who have made choices that haven't made their products as good.
Yeah.
But what I'm saying is that if you don't have referees playing, Apple is just going to do what any corporation wants to do, appease to their shareholders. So they constantly do whatever it takes to get that number
to win the game,
to go up and up and up. So you need refs in that situation.
I think the reason that I think the way that I do is because I know that if you don't have moats in businesses, you don't have protective barriers,
Mm-hmm.
and it's too easy to compete. What ends up happening is you compete away all the competition and the businesses fumble, and then ultimately everyone loses, right? Because if competition freely moves,
Yeah.
then they'll undercut each other until there's no profit left, and then businesses can't be stabilized.
Yeah.
So, I think Apple probably isn't in that camp because they have a lot of money and a lot of profit.
I'm not against either iOS 15, like just completely destroying the competition, because to me, I was thinking, you know what? Like if you are too reliant on your advertising dollars on a platform that you just don't even own, like that's not even good financial advice. Like
for a business to be 98%, like
yeah.
Meta, 98% of their revenue coming from that. That's crazy.
Yeah. Even in life, it's not a good idea to diversify, like having all your eggs in one basket. Right. So, but Lee, do you know what's crazy about all eggs in one basket?
What?
Or going all in? This Tesla owner has a chip implant. I thought of you. I thought as soon as I saw the title that Storm popped up, I was like, Lee did this?
Don't have a Tesla yet. Damn it.
Well, it's actually funny. So it's not actually a Tesla chip. It is a chip because like it uses the Tesla like proprietary software or whatever it is, but it's just actually a chip that uses the NFC sensor on multiple things. So the chips, so two chips have been implanted in a Tesla owner. The chips can unlock his Tesla home door. It can store cryptocurrencies and act as a way of accessing his medical card. The chips are made by VivoKey and cost around $300 plus a $100 installation fee.
I think it's saying it's his Tesla and his home door, or is this
Tesla? Yeah, so it's like both, like his smart door, his
smart door.
There's a smart device in his hand, which is like you got the NFC.
Yeah, like an IoT device. Now I got a question here for both you guys here. Under what this guy got a chip into his. This guy got a chip in his skin. I wonder if that's going to get the conspiracy theorists in here. So under what circumstances would you put a chip or not put a chip in you? Like when's the line for you kind of like, I can't put a chip in me?
So I'll put a chip in me when it makes fucking sense to. This is stupid.
You think it's stupid?
Dude, his phone can do all these things. There's no utility here. It's weird. You're going to get an infection or something. Here, listen. Elon Musk, if you give me a Tesla, I'll put a chip in my hand to unlock it. That will be the only time I'll do it. Because at this point, to me, like for example, another story we're going to talk about today is Amazon. I'm not going to get into the story because that's coming up next. But they're able to use their hands, okay, as a way to scan things.
Okay.
Why with today's NFC technology, which is not that new? No. Why put that in your flesh when you know something's going to come sooner where you can just wave your hand over the door and you can biometrically open it that way? Like to me, this seems like
it's a gimmick for the cloud.
It's a gimmick. It's like a little like these guys watched, sci-fi growing up and they want to be a cyborg super bad. And, this makes them feel cool. You know how Jason, our buddy, he loves his smart home shit. Yeah. You know how he's like, he first moved into his house, you walk in, all the lights are automatic, the windows drop down, he's got little, automations. Yeah. It's just like a thing people like. They like to feel that like sense of like like Iron Man. You know how Iron Man feels when he's like,
Yeah.
suit comes on his body and he like
Feels pretty badass.
uses his hand to manipulate interfaces. I think that same like feeling of cool is what this guy feels when he like walks by his door and he uses his hand. He probably feels like he's in the future.
Like a picture of that. There's like a bug or something. He's just smacking it. Like he's just smacking his hand against this freaking home door, and people are like, "What the hell's going on with this guy?"
It's like that commercial with the kid who dressed up as Darth Vader, and then his dad started the car when he was doing like the thing to the car to make him feel like he was
Using
like
the
trying
force?
to start the car. Yeah, using
That's
the force.
adorable.
And then he started the car that way.
This
Same
guy.
with this guy. He was that Darth Vader kid. Now he's grown up, and this is what he
And it's
is.
just like, dude, use a fucking touchpad.
This guy's, you know what it is? It's an Elon fanboy looking for clout. He was like, you know what? I can do this because I own a Tesla. I can put this chip in me, and maybe someone will notice me.
Is this even convenient? You know what I mean? Like, someone's gonna beat the fuck out of you one day trying to break into your Tesla, and you're gonna tell them, "I can't. The key's in my hand," and they're just gonna grab your hand and start smacking it against the fucking car, versus just handing the guy the key.
Dude,
Take my Tesla.
What's even harder is that like security with a key is better than this, because you can just throw your key away. But this, you just get an axe and you chop his hand off. You got a free key for crypto.
I was picturing Lee, like what you were just saying. Weekend at Bernie's. Have you guys heard of that concept of the movie?
No.
The guy dies, and then they string him up like a puppet, and they pretend he's alive all weekend so that they can use his house and
Oh, wow.
cover up for the fact that he died. So yeah, I can just see someone like you being in the carpool lane because you have the dead guy in your passenger seat because you're driving his Tesla because you killed
And
him.
he needs to open it. And
And there's full self-driving mode too. So like,
Yeah.
this guy took an L, I think.
I think he wants to be like Trey Young. He just wants to point. He's like, I got crypto in my veins, like
Yeah.
doing like that thing, like
Yeah.
Dogecoin right here, like in my artery.
That's why I would never put something in my palm.
What do you guys think of the price? $300 plus $100 installation fee.
Well,
That's
Not bad, actually.
Well, that's actually gimmick fee, because actually if you look at
Gimmick fee?
that's the gimmick fee.
Oh, I
that's
thought you said that's gimmicky, but instead you said gimmick fee. That's gimmick fee.
That's meta. I didn't do that on purpose.
That's not Meta. That's Tesla.
keep going.
This technology is cheap. You can get NFCs that do this, that don't go in your flesh, for $20 on Amazon, and you can program them with your phone to do these things, like open your car and open your house.
This
And then-
NFC, you could probably put your NFT on this NFC
Yeah, you could probably.
and
But
watch it on the BBC. And then you TTC your friends and take the TTC.
nice. I was gonna make it like another BBC joke after you did, but then I just didn't.
Yeah.
But yeah, the $300 is expensive because it's a gimmick and it's unique and you put it in your flesh or whatever. And I don't know if I don't think it's worth it. I think it's also kind of silly. But all the power to John Pompliano.
He
No,
just tweeted
reporter.
about it.
Yeah,
Oh,
he's the
okay.
reporter.
He's
yeah.
Pomp's brother, like
Okay.
like the crypto Pomp.
Oh,
But
word.
$100 installation fee. Wouldn't it be like who's putting you in it? Like putting it in you for $100? That seems cheap, right?
Yeah,
Yeah,
that's
that
weird.
does.
It's probably the Amazon delivery guy. He's just like, hey, can you come outside here quick? This doesn't require a signature or require surgery. And then you go and he just uses the fucking razor and he slices your hand, slides it in, and then
It's probably the same place you'd get a BBL done. Like after you get your BBL done, you get your like specific NFC token. Oh, that's funny.
Do you see Buddy's face in the chair getting it done too? That smug look on his
Yeah.
face. He knows he's like.
listen. I don't want to profile, okay? But the guy that's doing the
Kind of looks like
medical procedure,
It kind of looks like Storm.
The guy in the chair.
Yeah.
maybe in the future
Like, yeah, a little bit in the future.
with the comb over. Anyway, the guy that's doing the actual surgery doesn't really look like a medical professional to me. It looks like a guy,
It's
like
a tattoo
shop.
artist,
Yeah.
yeah.
I mean, I could be wrong, but the floral hat snapback and the hood and tattoos is giving me, not RPN vibes.
No. You know what? Stereotypes are bad, but I have never seen a doctor wear a floral hat.
Or a nurse.
Yeah.
Yeah. So like that's the maybe
Or
that's
cargo
why
pants.
maybe that's why it's $100. It's like take it to one of our nearby tattoo partners, and they will install this chip in. I don't know. This is silly. Let's talk about some actually good use of hand technology.
Could he use this Bitcoin at a store? Like, could he pay with his palm at a store? That'd be wild, wouldn't it?
Well, not with this NFC, but Amazon Palm Pay or Amazon One is now expanding to even more and more stores across the country. 65 more Whole Food locations.
No way.
So I want you to guess, what is Palm Pay? Such great branding.
I thought Amazon was getting into like the cooler market, like coolers as in drinks. And
Like
I thought
Palm
that
Bay?
was and I thought that was like a typo on your hand. So I was like, oh, Palm Bay from Amazon, nice.
So nope, not a typo. Actually, Amazon's done this thing where customers that go to Whole Foods or their Amazon stores are actually able to pay with their palm. And they
Okay.
do this by when they first get to the store, they have to do a quick 1 minute
So no
process.
sensors are in you.
Nothing's in you. Nothing's physically in you, and you do it at the store. When you kind of sign up for the process, you put your card in the chip, and then you scan your hand.
Okay.
And then from now on, when you come in, you can just pay with your hand. It knows your card's linked to your hand,
It knows like your fingerprints or like your hand.
so it actually looks at all the crevices, the lines, the prints, as well as the shape, texture, and veins, and creates a biometric encrypted copy of your hand on the cloud.
Wow.
So that means at any Amazon location you can pay, or a Whole Foods location you can pay that has this with your palm.
Do you know what they can do? They can get into with that palm data,
What?
like fortune teller,
Yeah.
like cloud fortune tellers.
Pay a premium. Amazon's just sending you links like,
Yeah, like-
pay 25 bucks a month for your horoscope.
You get your horoscope. Someone died in your life, hasn't it? It's like, damn, it's good.
That's and you know what's funny is Amazon's horoscope shit would be so on point because they're listening to everything in your house. so you scan your palm at Amazon at a Whole Foods. It gets you to subscribe $25 per month for their fucking horoscope plan, and they're just like, you had eggs and avocado for breakfast this morning. You're mad about your sister cheating on her boyfriend, and
Yeah, you put your palm down, and then it's like your wife is too tired lately.
Yeah.
How does it know?
or maybe Amazon's just trying to be a homie and is like, check your wife's phone's messages. She's not where you think she is on yoga nights. You know what I mean? And it's like Amazon didn't rat you out. It was a horoscope, right?
Yeah, it just had the vibes. You know,
Yeah.
the Amazon just had the vibes. Amazon One. Oh, that's good.
But anyway, it's pretty cool. My question to you, Lewis, because, data, cloud,
Yeah,
security,
for sure.
IT, cybersecurity, breaches,
Yep.
intelligence, terrorism,
Yes.
right?
That's lots of words. Those are words.
One thing that I found was interesting is, unlike fingerprint scanners or Face ID, this biometric data can't be used on a device. It's not like you're using your phone
Yeah.
with your palm and then scanning your phone. It's literally your palm.
Yeah.
So that means your biometric data needs to be stored on the cloud. Thoughts?
Well, why does it need to be stored in the cloud?
Because how else are all the locations going to be able to access your biometric data?
Well, that's true as well. But I'm sorry. I guess like I'm not opposed to the cloud, right? And like the cloud, I do think it's like there's a risk with any type of technology you do. Like
And you need rain for the plants, and clouds bring all the rain.
oh.
I'm sorry. Go
Like
ahead.
when you store something on your phone, that doesn't mean that it's not secure. When was the last time you updated your Mac?
Like a couple weeks ago,
Like before that, though.
2.5 years.
Yeah. So because of that, you have 2.5 years worth of vulnerabilities of something going through you. So the cloud arguably could be more secure in a lot of sense, even though it's a higher target.
That's a good point.
So, I mean, I don't really have an issue with it being on the cloud. I guess eventually what we'd have to look out for is that when the palm is starting to become a unique identifier for a lot of things we start using, that's when I guess it becomes more sensitive. But for now, I don't even know if I care if someone has my palm because
You don't care until it becomes something, right? So
Yeah.
so there have been some complaints from people. They have two concerns. Number one, they're worried about Amazon sharing our palm data with, like they already do with Ring data with, with the government and police.
Amazon Alexa is like, you have some ashy hands.
Yeah.
We are sending.
Yeah.
I was like, Amazon just sent me some hand cream.
Yeah, a subscribe discount on hand cream. But basically the two concerns are, number one, Amazon giving your information to government, criminal justice, whatever else.
Yeah.
And then the second one is people actually being able to hack Amazon and steal your palm data and then sell your palm data on the black market.
Okay. Yeah.
Listen, I'll just be honest here. I'd pay good money for Scarlett Johansson's palm data.
Oh, you would?
No, I'm kidding.
I mean, realistic.
make myself like a this is gonna sound horrible, but like there's a
What do you mean it's gonna sound horrible? It is horrible.
make yourself like a 3D
hand.
a 3D hand based off of a celebrity's hand.
Like Shohei Ohtani. We covered that like a little while ago.
Yeah, we did the baseball player. Now he did that. That was consensual. Imagine you're just like a famous guy, and then you get like a text. You get an Instagram DM, and the DM is, "Hey man, I got your palm from a hack. You shop at Whole Foods. I jack off with your hand every night." Like that would suck.
It would jerk technically.
True. But like that, I guess that's the
Yeah.
concern, right? Like who's gonna get access to your palm? And
I do yeah, that is interesting. I mean, the thing with the black market and like people can sell on the black market, that's something that you always have to take a risk with any of your information online. So I do think that that like sure is valid, but of course I trust that data is at least secure. The more thing I kind of understand is like the more data that because these governments these companies, corporations always, bend over to the government to provide information when they can. So I do kind of obviously have issues with that. But
maybe it's part of the waiver. When you
yeah.
sign up for it's an optional thing. You can still use your own
Yeah.
Apple Pay or your debit card. Maybe it's like, hey, just a heads up, if we find your paw prints on, a bank safe after a robbery, we will have to give it to the FBI. And you're just like, fine, yeah, I'll sign it away.
Yeah, they're like, technically speaking, we have to give your information to the FBI.
Imagine it's like that explicit, like if we find your palm on a bank safe handle, and then the guy's like, oh wait, no, never mind. I have plans to rob a bank next month.
It's like, yeah, like they're just like going through the waivers, like, all right, and you plan on coming here once in a while. You consent to the cloud. You're not planning on robbing a bank once in a while. It's like, define bank, define what kind of bank.
I prefer not to answer.
Yeah, but you know what? Rubber hands are going to be skyrocket. That's what you need to invest in right now. Rubber hands. Actually, maybe I should start an e-commerce store where I sell rubber hands. Well, for this specifically.
You could probably make some money.
Can it be fisted like put or is it
It has to be open.
Yeah, it has to be open. You can have the optional just in case you want to pretend to play punch with
Hulk
people.
hands.
Yeah, like, oh look, I can punch it, and not put it anywhere else.
Is this a new way to rob a store now though? You're like see someone you haven't seen in a while, you're like, hey, how's it going? You shake their hand and you go bonk, like
Without them noticing, you just like take you go, oh, is that a wedding ring? You flip your hand. Oh, it's gorgeous. Hold on, just 1 second. Oh yeah, it's gorgeous. Okay, love you, hon. And the girl's just like, what the fuck was that?
Yeah.
Card charged.
Do you know
Apple
what
Pay notification.
Yeah, the scan. You know what? The scanning. That's like, how you're always arguing with someone like, hey, I'll pay, and there's like that little awkward debacle where you have to like, who gets their credit card out first. This is gonna solve that.
They're gonna be like doing the like, got it.
Yeah, got it. Or you can like trick your friend and being like, hey, look over there, and just like grab their hand and
Make them pay.
yeah.
I mean, that's theft.
That's highway robbery.
Yeah. Amazon way robbery.
Yeah, no kidding. Blockchain. How much do you know about blockchain, Lee?
When I was on the block selling bricks, I wore a chain.
Oh, nice.
That's how much I know about blockchain.
Yo, that is so sick, dude. That is so freaking sick.
That can be actually a pretty sweet rap verse or rap song called Blockchain.
Oh, okay.
But it's like a rapper being like ironic about how he doesn't understand crypto, but he understands like selling drugs.
Oh.
And he rocks a chain.
Yeah. Yeah, let's keep that one let's keep that one hidden, Like that's like hidden talent. Keep it that way.
Keep it that way.
Just joking.
So what do you got about the blockchain? You got a story about the blockchain?
No, I don't actually. No. I'm just
Okay.
Okay, Reddit. Do you like Reddit? Who here likes Reddit?
I don't use Reddit, but what the fuck does that have to do with the blockchain?
Oh, okay, well, I don't know why you're so aggressive with it.
Well, you said blockchain, you bring up Reddit. Like I just feel confused.
Oh, yeah, well, let me explain that to you.
Sorry, I've had a lot of cough syrup.
Yeah, don't give this guy cough syrup. He urges you to get this shit out of your system. Okay, so speaking of Reddit, FYI, Guess what? Guess who just hit their 11th year anniversary?
I don't know.
Me.
MySpace. Oh.
Me. I hit my 11th cake
Oh.
day
Oh, on Reddit.
on Reddit.
So you're 27 now.
Yeah.
So you've been using it for 15.
11
Sorry,
years.
since you were 15.
15, 16.
Yeah, 15,
Yeah.
16, yeah.
It's kind of like, usually this is like, oh, that's kind of cool, but it's like kind of embarrassing a little bit. Like I've been using Reddit. Like I feel like I look like a Reddit user
Why is that?
because like
What physical traits do you embody that make you a Reddit user?
I'm nerdy looking.
How though? I wouldn't say you're nerdy looking.
Well, we'll let the TikTok comments say. They have a lot to say about that. I'm nerdy looking. I'm liberal.
Is that a Reddit thing?
Oh, for sure.
Oh wow.
I'm chronically online. I just like, yeah, TikTok. Let me know if I look like a Reddit user. Like I don't have any Discord kittens or nothing, but like it's pretty damn close. So anyway, enough about me. Reddit is doing some pretty innovative things actually when it comes to the blockchains. So Reddit has partnered with FTX, which is a crypto exchange, so users can buy Ethereum on the platform. Do you know why?
I actually don't know why. Why would they can just do that on FTX's platform? Why would they do it on Reddit?
Well, this is really cool. It's for something that they're calling community points.
To reward people with tokens?
Literally. So community points allows you to reward your subreddit to help encourage better content and conversation. So it's all on the blockchain, so it doesn't stay on Reddit. And they specifically advertise this so that when you have like your karma on Reddit, you can like program your own apps. And I like how I really enjoy the transparency that Reddit at least says that you can program your own apps, because people just assume like, oh, I can take it off the blockchain, it'll just work everywhere, which just isn't true. But you can make your own apps that uses that sort of data. So essentially, it's kind of like Reddit. It's almost like Reddit is letting their subreddits become DAOs.
Okay.
So like let's say I'm a big fan like of the subreddit hip hop heads, right? And I'm like a constantly contributing member. Well, on the site, I can see it can show that I'm like a top commenter. Maybe like I'm notorious for liking this album or something, and that can show it there too. I can also award other people so that if I feel like their comments are more insightful, I can give them rewards as well, and that will boost their kind of.
Now, are they explicitly saying that they're using the word DAO? Or
They're not, no.
Okay, because that would be huge.
But it works similarly in a way.
I mean, DAOs are potentially something that could change the way we all participate in communities. At least that's what the crypto heads are saying. And if Reddit was to embrace DAOs on all their sub channels,
It's subreddits.
Some of the biggest communities on the internet, actually most of them are on Reddit.
Yeah.
So for them, that would make DAOs so mainstream. It would make the idea of like NFTs and tokens and, so everyday.
I feel like Reddit is the only place on the internet right now where I feel like conversations can be a bit more genuine outside of like Twitter or something, like every time, like on Google, every time I'm like wanting to figure out a product or if something's good, I'll always say like, Road Mike Reddit, and then people will talk about it and they'll give their honest reviews. I feel like that's Reddit is a very good spot for that. It's a good centralized source of truth. So using blockchain to be able to like really hammer down that feeling of good quality content, especially in text form, I think it's pretty interesting.
I think it'd be a great place to pilot something like this. Storm, you're obviously big into crypto and stuff. What do you think? You think this is gonna mainstream this stuff?
Yeah, FTX is doing the most. Sam Bankman-Fried,
everywhere.
You guys know about?
He's the one. I think every like generation of technology, there's a founder that's like the best founder in that space, and Sam is the best in the crypto space.
You don't think it's Vitalik?
No.
Why not Vitalik?
Because he's I think he's definitely a genius in his own right and innovative and came up with great content. But I'm talking about a great founder, great business person.
Like business person, yeah. Because Vitalik is not a business person.
No, yeah. And founders are not just business people; they're also innovators. And I think that Sam's that combination of both. And that's what I think Storm's saying. He's doing the most, because I feel like every week we have a different story about FTX.
As things have kind of crumbled in the space, he's been kind of the savior for everybody. Like saving
keeping
these
it
hoes or
alive.
whatever. Yeah.
But
Keeping
to
it
be
alive.
fair, I mean, again, I'm not here to debate, but I'm just saying Vitalik, he's creating the foundation of what blockchain is going to be doing in the future.
Yeah, I think he's a great technologist,
Yeah.
right? Like technologists are different than founders. Like
For sure.
I don't
But
even
he
know.
is also the founder too.
I don't. Yes, but I don't know who built like the internet, really. Like those people that were like at the ground level of internet 1.0. But we know who, like Steve Jobs and the Google
But
founders.
yeah,
and
that
stuff.
doesn't mean you're the GOAT though. That's like the thing is that you can say the founder of the internet is the GOAT.
No, I'm not. I'm saying the people that built the technology aren't always the ones that do make the most influence. So I think Vitalik's one of those guys, which he is a founder too, but I think he just is he doing a whole lot outside of his own technology? Is he like?
But I mean, like,
other ventures and
it's like it's
He
kinda
has to
hard,
focus.
though.
He has to focus on that, right? All of his attention should be going there.
Because
That's the
like Ethereum is like, I mean, obviously you say what you want about Ethereum, right? But for what Ethereum claims to be, is arguably going to change the world.
Mhm.
So like to me, it's kind of like he doesn't need to focus on anything
But
else.
you think about this, right? Satoshi or whatever.
Satoshi, is it like the Bitcoin
the
dude?
Bitcoin guy.
Yeah.
He also is on par, at least, with Vitalik.
I don't
right?
think so.
As far as like their influence so far, like their market capitalization of their currencies are the same.
But that's not. I wouldn't say that's necessarily the best way to kind of like. It's
But
not
you
all
think-
about market.
No, I know, but is there Ethereum without Bitcoin today? Is Ethereum's
Definitely
price?
not,
Yeah,
because-
so that's my point. And it's like the person that did that is a technologist, and we don't even know who that person is.
But
They're hidden.
what I'm saying though is that you have to explain too. It's like saying, oh well, there's no Steve Jobs without Steve Wozniak, so Steve Wozniak the GOAT. Well, that's arguably not true either.
No. Steve Wozniak is with Steve Jobs. They're founders.
Yeah, but what I'm saying is that like you're saying that there's a dependence issue here, but I disagree with that.
No, I'm saying every generation of technology have great founders.
Mm-hmm.
Sam is not a technologist; he's a founder.
But that's what but I mean, maybe it's just wrong to compare the two just in general.
Yeah, it is. That's why I didn't say that. I said
okay.
that he's the founder. Out of all the founders, he's the one.
Oh, okay, gotcha. I thought you were saying like out of everyone in the whole crypto
No.
scene.
I was like very explicit. I said out of all the founders, he's the founder that I think that got the most legs. and
Oh,
is, like,
gotcha.
like technologists are different. Now, sometimes technologists might be a founder, or like just the way that sometimes basketball players can also cook. But like, I'm saying as far as all the business people in the space, Sam seems to be like really, really on point. Great leader, great investor, really smart. Like definitely, I think he's on the spectrum, right? Didn't he? I think he said in the interview he's like on the spectrum. It's like a savant, like super smart.
Yeah.
So yeah, I think this makes sense.
This partnership, though, something that I like about it and blockchain in general is it doesn't have to stay on Reddit either. So it's like a really good foundation, starting place, hub for everybody to get together. But the things that can be built from this can be extrapolated, done everywhere else, right? Brought with
Yeah.
it.
Is that what you said, Lewis, about the whole building applications with it?
Yeah.
Yes.
On your own?
Exactly.
Which is just huge in blockchain technology
I think
altogether.
it's-
So
And
Because there's
like-
no ownership of it. There's no gated community where you
Yeah.
can live with
and that's
it.
why I thought it was so cool. That's what Storm was saying is that, like, you see so many of these crypto projects, and they're like, it's on the blockchain, so you can bring it. But like, why do I care about bringing my Dogecoin elsewhere, right? Like, there's no like. Usually, it's all platform specific.
Yeah.
But with this, it's kind of like almost like you're importing your Reddit account. So
And can a community build their own DAO with their own token and build their own system for their community to
Yeah,
use and then
like-
take it offline and do stuff with it? Or-
yeah, like you have your own tokens that like each subreddit is going to have their own tokens.
Okay, so they really could do like completely separate applications, membership perks, like
Literally
events,
exactly that.
physical houses.
Yeah, sure, yeah.
Like
I
what you
guess
could,
so.
like for example, like Wall Street Bets could
Yeah.
have like a house in New York and a house in LA, and then like the people that have the most tokens or whatever, or like proof of participation,
Yep.
have access to these like party houses or something like that. Right?
Yeah.
So like Discord right now is where a lot of crypto groups come together, but they usually meet somewhere, then they come to Discord and everything's kind of separated, right? So if this could be like a new wave of doing it where it's like built with the community in the chat together.
On Discord and on Reddit.
Well, I mean in Reddit.
But could you imagine Discord also embrace this open access and you could bring your DAO over to Discord and now you can see people's like ranking in the DAO, their tokens.
I
Like,
think so. I mean, like Discord already has like a developer API that I'm pretty sure that like with existing, like you have to own an NFT to be able
Yep.
to. So
Yeah,
like,
there's gated access there that way.
So I mean, imagine that. Imagine there's like Reddit DAO.
yeah,
That way there's not like one like, master dictator. And then based on the people that are elected by the members, they all get a special token or NFT or whatever. And that gives them access to this Discord chat where they can moderate things as like a board. But like no one's letting you in or out. It's just like, do you have the card?
yeah.
And the card is earned through the system.
Oh, for sure. I mean,
You can connect your wallet
Yeah.
to Discord, and that's how it unlocks it. Yeah.
I think it's really cool. I think,
You don't need leaders then.
yeah.
Right?
Well,
DAOs can just decentralize the whole like.
I do wonder though, with the way Reddit works at the moment, is that you have the moderators whose job it is to literally stay on there 24/7, right? So
The moderators retire, right? They move on. They bring new moderators in. Like that happens over time.
not on Reddit. These
Really? I thought-
like some mods are like I mean, think about what a moderator of a Reddit looks like. If I was to make like freaking a Diablo or World of Warcraft subreddit, what do you think a moderator of that would look like?
Probably the same as all the people on the subreddit, right?
Like an extra Uber version, like a Eric Cartman.
like a Diablo player squared. So like just like
It's an exponential rate. So like, so part of me wonders as well, like with the way these tokens are distributed, I mean, it is like as a community member, you can give it away. So that does make me kind of like how an upvote. So because there is like a form of anonymity to the website, you can like upvote a comment. And hopefully it's kind of given the same way like that, because I think that system works really well for Reddit. And I think that's probably why a lot of good comments come from it. So I'm excited to see this come through.
me too. It makes me so happy. I think I could cry. And I guess that would make me a crying CEO.
A crying CEO.
Yeah, you know what's funny?
CEOs cry?
Another CEO has posted a selfie on LinkedIn after laying off his employees. It's now gone viral of him crying after laying off some staff.
You know what? Whenever this is why I hate LinkedIn. Don't you just hate those like posts where it's like, here's 10 things I learned as a self-employed baker, and it gives like these 10 like nonsensical points, or like there's so much like.
I actually don't use LinkedIn at all.
I don't either, but like every time I go on there, I feel like I'm seeing some sort of motivational post.
Yeah, the vibe is very like Gary V.
Yeah.
And like Grant Cardone and like
Yeah.
Alex Hormozy, but like all the time.
And it's kind of like crappy because when you watch Gary V, like I kind of expect that. And he's like kind of the only person that I can like kind of tolerate doing that because that's him.
Also he's good at it. When you're on LinkedIn, you're getting it from like an administrator from your local coffee shop or something. You know what I mean? Like everyone on LinkedIn's like, just writing content.
Some people say I serve coffee. I think I'm serving smiles.
Wow, that's actually pretty impactful.
Or it's like, I'm not just simply serving a coffee. I'm giving a smile to somebody who will end up changing the world. That person was Steve Jobs,
Can I read you guys one?
Yeah.
Yep.
Yesterday I was walking to an interview. There was a starving dog on the side of the road. I stopped to feed him and missed the interview. The next day I got a call asking me to come in to do the interview. I was surprised, but when I went in, the interviewer came in. It was the dog.
That's such a LinkedIn post. But it's true. Like LinkedIn does have this like culture of it's like corporate virtue signaling.
Yeah.
Combined with motivation and the capitalistic fucking rat race. It's like a weird place. I don't like going on it. I don't fucking like the content. I don't enjoy myself.
Which is interesting because this is where we now come to crying CEOs.
Well, here's the thing. Everyone's laying people off. It sucks. As a business owner, I can relate to this guy's emotions. The idea of having to let go of people because of a decision that you made, a bad decision you made, and then now this person that's given a portion of their life to your company and doesn't know what to do next is now going to feel lost. And and not because of anything that they did, right? That's different, right? Firing somebody because they were fucking horrible is different.
Mm-hmm.
But laying somebody off because as a leader, you just made the wrong calls and you set yourself up for failure.
For sure.
It's hard. It's got to be hard. Obviously, I never had to go through that myself, but I think about it, right? And I think about, why I don't want to ever have to make those decisions because I don't want to. And I think here's my take on it because he's getting roasted pretty bad.
Yeah.
And I think he should be because
It's
dude,
lame.
dude, you're crying. So
Yeah.
like, don't post that. I would cry too. I would cry too.
Yeah.
100%. I'd have tears if I had to do the same thing, but I wouldn't post it online. A picture of me crying.
No.
Instead, I might post a picture or post something
Yeah.
about, on how unfortunate it is, maybe the lessons that I've learned if I was a LinkedIn poster,
For sure.
but not the picture of you crying. I think that's just over the line.
I think it's way over the line, personally.
Well, like, I just think one step back is not the picture of the crying. I think even a picture of him just like looking like kind of like this, like, sad, like
Like a
YouTube
thumbnail.
thumbnail.
yeah. Like that might have been fine. I think it was just the tears that teetered him over.
I could just picture the CEO just taking a picture like this. Like, I just fired 10 of my employees, and then in the brackets, starving and dying.
Here's my take. I think that, as business owners, we were always told, like, human resources, like, humans are a tool, a resource to use.
Yeah.
And I think, people always tell us, you got to hire and fire and blah, blah, blah. And we're like taught to believe that as entrepreneurs, we have to not really think of our staff as, people.
Mm-hmm.
It's like encouraged, right? I think that's incredibly hard for a lot of founders, because at the end of the day, if you're listening, your boss is probably just like you.
Yeah.
Was once a person with a family that grew up, and their path was just to start a business. And if you're listening and you don't think it'd be fun to fire people, you can probably assume it's not fun for your boss to do either.
Mm-hmm.
So I do think we should talk a little bit more about how difficult it is to be, in that position, and how it does take an emotional toll on leaders. Because sometimes I think employees don't think that. They think like, my boss doesn't give a shit, capitalism, exploitation.
For sure.
He's just gonna replace me. I'm expendable. I don't have any loyalty to him, whatever. And maybe that happens at big companies, but at marketing firms like his that have maybe 20 to 50 employees, like, he knows all of them by name. He knows their kids.
For sure.
He knows, their story. He's probably trained some of them. Like, it's a bit different. And I think some empathy should be extended to the guy.
If you want to think about it, like, really realistically, of course, firing people, laying people off because of the state of the economy and things that you don't have direct control over, it is a sad thing. But at the end of it's just so mega cringe to be able to post a picture of yourself crying
with tears. Like, didn't even wipe them with the tissue first.
Because, like, again, and if you want to do the LinkedIn SAP story where you're like, what I've learned from laying off 10% of my staff, whatever it might be, then go for it. Because I do think that there is some valuable lessons to be learned, but it's just virtue signaling, and it only happens because of the power dynamic that happens here. So, it's very common in comedy to say, like, is it okay to make fun of someone? Usually, if you're punching down, usually it's pretty insensitive. If you're punching up, then it's funny, right? In this case right here, this CEO was the one who decided to take this job as a CEO to be able to kind of do all this type of stuff. He knew at one point he has to fire people. So, like, again, just take it with stride. Oh, I just got a freaking ring. Was that you?
Oh, we're good. Sorry.
Okay. Were you on, like, a marketing website or something?
I'm on their website.
Oh,
yeah.
Yeah. So, I think, like, as a CEO, you decide to take this role, and that's something that you need to do. Again, like, I think there's lessons to be learned, but it's mega cringe and a bit insensitive, in my opinion, to post a crime picture.
Here's actually where it goes beyond cringe. Okay. So this guy, yeah, he's tiered. He probably shouldn't have posted the picture. He maybe should have said a story, but here's where it gets a bit gross, is that his company's called Hyper Social, and the services they offer, get ready for this. Hold on here. LinkedIn Outreach Managed Service, LinkedIn Outreach Hyperstar Program, LinkedIn Profile Optimization. This guy's business is about growing your LinkedIn strategy for lead gen.
Wow.
So he was doing himself a service, literally. By posting this, he knew engagement. You know what I'm thinking? This guy got a ton of business from this post.
Oh, probably.
And that's what makes it a bit ugly.
Well, now it's like,
because now you've benefited from sharing this story about how you had to lay off your employees financially. And you're also, like, implementing like a skill you have.
It's like he literally took the worst part of capitalism, and he like somehow was like he was doing like a capitalism speed run right there. He's like, all right, lay off. Like, what's bad? All right, laying off employees. Friggin' check. What's next? Virtue signaling. Boom. And what's next? Profit off of all of it. It's like, wow, what a freaking guy, man. What a freaking guy.
He has clients that he helps with on LinkedIn, like Hilton Hotel and Resorts, Wendy's, Five Guys, WeWork, Chick-fil-A, Merrill Lynch, Morgan Stanley, Slim Fast.
Wow.
So big names working with him. So to me, it seems like, listen, if this guy was me, right? I never go on LinkedIn.
Yeah.
If I go on LinkedIn and I post this, it's different. Lee doesn't use LinkedIn for content. He doesn't have a strategy here. He posted it on LinkedIn because he's trying to talk to other business owners and employers. So you can kind of get where I'm coming from. This guy didn't wipe the tears off his face, chose to post it, probably wrote it with exceptional copy.
Yeah.
You know, probably made sure that his links were all working in his bio.
And
this is a content piece.
Yeah. And he's not, like, at the end of the day, he's not the victim either. You know? And that's what I feel like is the most insensitive part about it is that, like, okay, like, you know, like you and I are business owners, and I get it too. Like, it's hard to be a business owner, and that is a lot of times overlooked. I get that. People don't understand. But if you lay off X amount of people and then you go and cry and like want people to feel bad for you, it's like, dude, you just laid people off. Like, you still have a job. You know what I mean? As a CEO.
Here's how I would have done the post. I would have said, so I fucked up. I made some poor decisions and I hired people that ultimately won't be able to provide value to the business. And for the sake of the business, I have to lay them off. It's my fault. It sucks. And for anyone that's been there here before, I empathize for the process. Meet X, Y, Z people. These are their skills. They're exceptionally talented. If you have a job for them, I want you to reach out to me.
Smart.
I would love to tell you about how amazing they are, how their skills can help your company. I'll jump on a call. I'll tell you how effective they could help you out, and I hope the best for them.
Because at the end of the day, it should be about them.
100%.
They're the one that lost the jobs. You are still the CEO of a company. You know, like,
If you're this guy's employee, you get fired, the next day you see him post this selfie. What goes through your head?
Depends on the person. I think some of them might be naive enough because they know him, they like him. They're gonna take the benefit of the doubt and say he was coming from a genuine place.
yeah,
But I think some of them for sure would be like, this is kind of rubbing me the wrong way.
it's sociopathic. That's what it
very
is.
narcissistic.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Do you think he said, hey, I'm going to fire you guys. I'm going to post a crying selfie. Going to drive business. Going to have enough money to hire you guys back.
Here's the game plan. Once you go viral with this post,
He probably has like an employee in the boardroom. Like, he fires it. He lays off one of his employees, and he's like, I got one idea that maybe can keep me here.
yeah. So I want you to fire me, but I want you to fire me bad. I want you to make a post on it, and I want you to cry. And then the demand will generate. I'll get my job back. Sound good? Sounds good, Phil. I joked around with Storm about making a post on the Slack channel today.
Yeah.
And doing a video and saying myself, like, fake crying, like,
Okay.
I'm sorry, but we have to lay off the production team.
Oh,
and then
God.
and then we were gonna see the comments from our staff, and then we're gonna post it in the short.
Pretty sure there's some like labor issues that go on there.
I decided not to.
I was getting ready to cash in.
I was getting ready.
I'm just gonna troll you guys epically.
I thought it was a great idea.
Storm's persuading me so that he can then sue me. But I thought it was gonna be kind of funny because I was gonna say, so guys, the production team's gonna get laid off. Obviously, as you know, Jason's a partner, so he's gonna keep his job, and Josh is the creative director, so he's gonna be moving over to design. So pretty much just Storm. But I just didn't want to fuck. I just didn't think our staff's hearts could take it. You know,
Yeah.
On
Even
Jack's
for a moment.
birthday too, put him through that. You
No,
know,
they would be upset. So we didn't do it. But I think a lot can be learned from this about how to conduct yourself as a leader.
Yeah. Well, as a CEO, all you should do is just eat some ice cream to make yourself feel better. Rich ice cream.
That's what you should have done, right? He's rich. Eat some ice cream, right? Some Ben and Jerry's or.
We have a new segment, guys.
New segment alert. Learn
Wonder.
Canadian corner.
So speaking of ice cream, Lewis,
Sorry, I wasn't. We're not going
Canadian corner, Canuck corner. What do you guys think?
the Canuck Corner.
I like Canadian
Yeah.
corner a bit better. Kind of rolls off the tongue a little better.
Can corn Canuck.
Can't. Oh.
Speaking rolling off the tongue, something's been rolling on the tongue through ice cream.
Yeah.
Oh.
Rolling on the tongue. Listen to this, man. This is a Canadian story for all our Canuck fans out there. Lotto Max, which is our like lottery company.
Yeah.
In Ontario.
Yep, in Ontario. They have created a new line of ice cream bars that taste like stuff only rich people can afford.
Okay.
And they're selling them for $5, which comes with a scannable Lotto Max free play code. So you're pretty much getting an ice cream cone and a chance to win the jackpot.
Perfect.
But these flavors are like outlandish. Actually, you know what? Before I tell you the flavors, what's something only the rich can afford that you could make a flavored,
caviar
flavored,
or like real wasabi.
or Wagyu?
Wagyu. Oh,
Yeah, I would eat a Wagyu popsicle, honestly.
I would too.
Think even bigger than food.
Yeah,
Bigger than food.
yeah, outside of food. Only taste
A yacht.
a yacht.
Nice.
Yacht.
It's a good one. That actually, they should have done that one.
Yeah.
Here's what they did do, Lewis. They did a flavor called Rare Oil Painting,
Oh, that's rich.
Private Island,
Wow.
Designer Handbag,
It's not too rich.
and Grail Sneaker.
Okay.
I think they mentioned a Birkin bag.
Okay, that's expensive. That's like 40K.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So listen,
Grail sneaker though.
The
that ain't too rich.
listen. I don't even know what any of these things cost. It's not
Yeah.
my space. But the flavors sound horrible, to say the least.
Yeah.
They worked with, I believe, the University in Waterloo
Okay.
and a food scientist to develop these flavors. I think over the span of months in advance of this release. So this has like been very well thought out.
What do I feel like low key? That food scientist is overqualified for this job.
No, listen to this.
Okay.
They needed a food scientist because they wanted the rare oil painting to have hints of olive oil, fresh mid tannins, and a hint of oil paint. That's what it tastes like.
Oh.
Oil paint. Okay. The Private Island is supposed to taste like tropical island with notes of seawater,
And
lychee, and orange blossom, and is also made with some Pacific Ocean kombu seaweed.
Wow. I was gonna say, you don't like. Usually, you're not a smart person if you know the taste of paint.
Yeah, but
'Cause
rich people are like, I'm getting paint.
I can just picture like it's like we have a professional food scientist, and then like you go in the room and it's someone eating paint. They don't seem smart to me.
Yeah, eating paint, tasting, just checking.
No,
to
like
see.
straight off the brush. Like,
Just a bear can. The designer bag tastes like rich leather, which is with smoky notes and a floral finish, reminiscent of a designer boutique.
cool.
And the grails.
Have Lewis read one too for
Oh,
the
yeah.
TikTok.
Oh yeah,
If you click on it and read the
the bottom one.
Grail sneaker.
The Grail sneaker has a fresh out of the box sneaker taste with hints of chocolate and even rubber.
Damn, dude. Chocolate rubber is like, I mean, if you like that, you like that, right?
It's not good. Rubber.
But here's the thing. The target audience seems to be pretty like, Gen Z, young millennials, because they've set up a bunch of release dates at Harry Styles' concert.
Okay.
They're gonna be
It's
in-
kind of aligns with him. I feel like that's something that he would do.
Yeah, Muskoka, Rolling Loud Music Festival, Post Malone's concert. So these are the types of places that they're going to be able to access these popsicles. And here's the best part of this whole thing. All the proceeds are going to Friends of Ruby, a 2SL LGBTQIA plus youth organization.
Cool.
Are you impressed that I just got all that right? Didn't pull a Justin Trudeau.
Yeah, literally.
So they're not making any profit. All the proceeds are going to charity.
That's cool.
You also get $5 ice cream that also doubles as like a lottery ticket.
Yeah, to me, it's kind of underpriced.
Pretty great marketing. I was
Yeah.
telling Storm, it sounds like OLG's response to all these gambling apps that are like scooping up the Gen Zs.
Yeah,
Scoop. Nice.
dude,
Ice cream
Yeah.
scoop.
it's so good.
I didn't do that on purpose, but
So you've heard of scratch offs. These are lick offs.
yeah, can you imagine?
These are lick offs. So you just have to.
Can you imagine that you just have to like the popsicle to reveal the if you won or not? That'd be game
That'd be
changing. I mean,
pretty epic.
if it tastes like rubber though, it would actually be kind of challenging. Can you imagine somebody just like, this fucking popsicle sucks, I'm not eating this anymore.
Yeah.
Walks away. In the distance, it just melts off camera, and you can see that they won under the rubber flavor.
I think
The jackpot.
I think it's really interesting. I think with the Gen Zs or like we're seeing this kind of like I don't know. What would you even call this type of marketing?
This is a activation, right? It's this experiential activation.
Like you see it with like Mischief, like Mr. Beast. You see like a lot of these types of marketing campaigns happening with where we have these kind of like eccentric like social media moments.
Yep.
And so I think OLG is doing an incredible thing.
So this is a bunch of stacking. So we're stacking on trends. Okay, we're stacking on pop culture with the access. It's
Stacking on popsicle sticks.
Yep. It's an experimental activation, but then also this is one of the biggest trends that we're seeing in marketing is customer experience. Mm-hmm. So a lot of the big thought leaders in the space have been talking about this for a long time, but
customer experience in this case.
Yeah. The brands that are winning are brands that are creating customer experiences offline, away from retail environments, whatever, and winning customers in like these types of fun ways, finding creative ways to create customer touch points that are exciting. So that's what this is. This is a great example of OLG just trying to like connect with an audience that they don't know how to connect with.
Yeah.
They must have had an agency support them with this and like kind of help them with the concept and the whole creative. But I think it probably will do well. I'm curious to see this.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't.
It has to sell out.
Yeah. I mean,
they definitely made it in like a limited release, and like at Harry Styles concert, like those things get full.
Well, so here's the thing. So Harry Styles concert's already passed, the 15th and the 16th, and August 20th, the Port Carling Muskoka Day.
Yeah,
that's already passed as well. So there's already a few days that have passed. There's 1, 2, 3. There's like several more days that they're gonna be releasing these. So I'm curious if we can even go on social media and even find these. Like,
are they not in the Oh no, actually that's the CEO article that you linked up there.
Yeah.
Oh, there you go.
I haven't seen any like actual social media stuff yet.
Oh, okay, yeah, no social media. Like there's promo pics though.
Yeah, I'll have to see if it's.
Do you see the promo pics? These look pretty freaking cool.
Of the actual like the artwork of the popsicles.
Yeah.
Yeah, they look gorgeous.
Yeah, seriously, so cool.
They're better for $5.
Literally, I mean it's pretty good value to be honest. And imagine they actually taste decent.
Yeah.
Who knows? But you know what? Gen Z's just trying to change the whole future.
Yeah.
Sometimes I just want to like
go back
in time when things were simpler.
Go back in time when things were simpler. Maybe we should rewind. Google. How much do you know about Google?
I honestly don't know too much about Google. I know like Larry Page, and then I don't even know the other founder. Wait,
Sergey Brin.
Sergey and Larry, is that the two, or is it somebody else?
Larry and then it's just the two of them, and then the CEO is not the founder.
Yeah, forget his name too.
Do you know a good place to learn more about it would be?
Probably Googling it.
Yeah, Google.
Googling Google.
I was gonna say Bing, but yeah.
I'm gonna ask you a question. Both of you guys a question, okay? Don't read what I wrote down, okay? And you're gonna tell me what year all of these events at Google happened. All right, deal?
Sure. Is there a reason why we're doing Google history? They put out their history timeline. Is that what?
Yes, that is correct, Storm. Google put out their history timeline and this insane web experience. I was a huge fan.
Can anyone experience this?
Anyone can experience this.
Where?
On google.com/search/how search works. I don't know.
We'll
link in the show notes. Yeah, that way. That's like that. That's like the easy cop out answer. Like sources are in the show notes.
And then we just leave it for Storm to figure out.
Yeah.
Here's a funny tidbit before you jump in. Storm made a funny joke about how, where you could look it up. You could look it up on Bing.
Yeah.
And then I thought to myself, I wonder what the top ranking search is on Bing. It probably is Google. No. I've looked it up. According to Verge, Google is the most searched term by far on Bing, followed by YouTube. Yo, you know what? When there's like an uncomfortable thing in a room that everyone has to acknowledge but they don't want to, that has to be Bing when they're doing their like search data report day, and all the executives are in the room, and we're just like, so number 1 is Google, and number 2 is YouTube, and number 3 is Facebook, and number 4 is Gmail, and number 5, people are searching a lot about Andrew Tate. And they just like try to skip the first 4 things because
5 through 10 is not safe for work.
Which is actually hilarious because I found this out on Reddit, but where Bing has a serious competitive advantage over Google is for the P word.
Porn?
Yeah.
So Bing is actually better for porn?
Yes.
Bing bong. Here's a dong.
Damn. Bada bing, bada boom.
Bing bong. Here's a dong.
Did you just
Bong
come,
bing,
up,
here's
just
a
come up with
king.
that story?
Yeah,
Or-
I did.
That was crazy.
But so I mean, if you guys are interested, to the viewers that is, use Bing. So I'm going to ask you a question. I'm going to tell you what, and you're going to tell me what year this came out on. Okay.
And is it like a whoever gets closer wins?
Sure.
All right. Storm.
Are we
it's
ready?
on. Yep.
When was Google.com registered as a domain?
Fuck.
So do we get a starting point too, I guess, when Google started, or we're like
No,
just off
nothing.
knowledge?
Nothing. Okay, I'm just gonna say,
Off the dome.
dude, I'm gonna fail miserably here. I'm gonna say like 1997, 8.
Okay.
Like after I was born.
Pick one.
97.
Okay.
I'll go 98 because I was thinking like in the early days.
1996.
Oh, so I got closest.
Yeah, that was pretty close. That's pretty good. Okay. When did Google's index reach 1 billion URLs?
URLs. 2005.
2005?
02.
2000.
Wow.
Oh, you won that
In the
one.
year 2000. I thought that was crazy.
That was fast.
1 billion.
That's
The
fast.
web was like I mean,
I
obviously
mean, that's
the web
4
was
years
big.
later. That's 4 years later. They went from
No, that like they didn't even release yet. Google.com was just registered in 1996. 1997, I believe, Google came out.
Wow.
so in a couple of years,
Yeah.
few years, they were at the 1 billion URLs.
Insane.
Okay.
I mean, that right there is why they won, by
Yeah.
the way, because they were able to just get so much of the internet market
Oh, yeah.
indexed.
For sure.
All right. When did Google launch their Yellow Pages alternative called Local and autocomplete? It's the same year.
2011. I don't know.
2011. Okay.
Oh, wait.
2004.
Damn, I'm like way over
Think
it.
about this. Like, think about autocomplete. How like I use autocomplete to like usually I use it as a way to kind of like spell something. Like, oh, is this spelled correctly? And
Yeah, then go into Google to find out if you spelled it right.
So like the fact that I get so much information just from autocomplete is absolutely like I couldn't imagine Google without autocomplete.
You know what? I didn't even think about that. That's been there for so long.
Yeah.
Do you
Okay.
wanna, do you want to do one last one, I guess, and then
We'll
go
do
into-
3 more and we'll go through them quickly.
Okay, cool.
All right. Google Maps.
2008.
I have the advantage of letting Lee go first and think. and then maybe I'll go first. But Maps like
Google
03
Maps.
03.
03.
Yeah.
So it's actually in between both of those. 2005.
Smack dab in the middle.
Yeah.
Mm.
Google has a serious advantage over being the first to market here. Okay, second last one. When did Google release their first voice search?
Ooh, like being able to like just like hit the button. And
Hit the button and search with your voice.
Two th-
No. Storm.
Okay.
12.
I
12.
was
2012.
actually gonna say that for some reason. So
Yeah.
I'll say 2013.
2008.
Wow.
Damn, I keep like way underestimating how fast they got things done.
Last one here. Okay, this is for all the biscuits. This is for all the cookies.
Nice. I'll allow it. Allow those cookies.
All right. What year did Google launch 3 products here? AdWords, spell check, like as in like did you mean, and Google Images. What year?
2005.
01.
2001 is correct.
Oh,
Nice.
damn, nice. I was 6. I have no memory of that.
I was
You got all the biscuits, Storm.
4.
Snips.
Snips.
That was a great rewind, Lewis.
Thank you.
It's always good to hear about this history of one of the biggest monopolies in the game.
Yeah, and go check out the timeline on their history. We'll link it in the show notes.
Link in the show notes. Thank you. All right. Where are we snip snapping first?
So we're just reacting to these stories today, right?
Yes.
Sweet. So Storm,
got-
maybe you want to walk us through?
Sure. Yeah. Amazon is releasing Ring Nation, a reality show based on footage from its Ring security cameras on September 26.
So hold on. Ring is just the front door, right?
Yeah.
How do you build a whole reality show story from just the front door?
like that's what I'm wondering. Are they using it? Is it going to be like America's Home, like funniest home videos type of vibe, or it's
It
like,
has to be.
oh, like look at these people freaking fall on their asses, or is it like that'd be kind of a cool creative way of doing something, like you use those to like and have actors.
So if that what you're saying sounds like the most sense, I don't think you could build another type of reality show like that kind of like America's Funniest Home Videos makes the most sense. But I don't know how many like fucking wipeouts and like weird deliveries and like strangers at your door like scenes I could watch. I don't know, like even
I know, it's pretty strange.
Even Mark Rober's like glitter bomb content can sometimes be a little bit like repetitive, you know?
Yeah. But you know what though? It's like I just find it crazy how like Amazon just like are they letting people know that they're on like that they're going to be on public?
They must be purchasing the stuff from them.
Yeah.
Actually, this could be a good idea for us to like get rigging cameras and just like do some like hilarious shit and let it go viral and then get Amazon to pay us to put it on there. And here's a thing I thought was hilarious.
Amazon trolling the shit out of everyone. They're like, hey, like you're going to mess up on camera. We're going to make it public.
The idea must have came from some silly situation at like a Prime meeting. They're like, hey guys, what are we going to put on Prime TV? We need more content, as they always do. And someone was like, yeah, there's funny content on my Amazon Ring.
Is Wanda Sykes? You know Wanda Sykes?
No.
Yep.
She's like a comedian, like
one of the goats,
like an old ass,
an old goat.
Yeah.
I have no idea who she is. So she's the host.
I think she's literally the creator who's coming to that. So she's the one who like she's snitching on everyone.
Wow. I mean, this is funny. This is like from farm to table shit, you know?
Yeah.
Amazon Ring to Amazon Prime on your Amazon Fire TV.
Nuts.
You know? Maybe nuts. Maybe peanuts. Maybe peanuts through Amazon delivery.
Oh.
Scan with Amazon Hand.
Oh.
Delivered by Amazon Astro.
Oh. Cleaned up. Particles cleaned up with your iRobot.
Literally. Amazon's farm to table cringe compilation.
Grabbed from Whole Foods.
I mean,
I won.
They've got a whole wrap on this whole thing. Pretty cool. I'm excited to see the first episode. I'll watch it.
Did I win the Amazon pun? I won that one.
Sure, yeah.
I wanted to challenge. Storm, you should have joined that one.
Speaking of Amazon.
We've talked about it in the past. We talked about Snapchat doing its premium subscription service, $3.99 a month. They racked up 1 million plus users in 6 weeks. Users can see who rewatch their stories among some other perks that they're going to roll out as they go. But what do you guys think of those numbers?
You gotta love $4 plus 1 million. You know what I mean?
Yeah, it's a lot of money.
just to gatekeep one of your things and be like, pay us $4 for it when you have that much of a user base. Like part of me just pictures like Snapchat, like CEO just like goes to sleep one day and freaking wakes up to his Stripe account being like 4 million bones.
Yeah. So as of the first quarter of 2022, Snapchat has 332 million daily active users. That's higher than I thought it actually was going to be.
Yeah.
That's actually really high.
Because Snapchat is like the underground goat. Like it's funny because me and you don't use Snap. Like I
never
did
did
use it, right? But here's the funny thing. My girlfriend uses Snapchat sometimes, right? But also like younger people, like people between the ages of like 13 and 25, like use Snapchat as their daily driver. Like, you know how we use Messenger?
Yeah, that's true. Because they message with pictures, right?
Yep.
Well, like, but the chat feature in there too, I know is very popular. Like just everything with it is just so popular. Like they've just somehow been able to stay afloat and kind of thrived in their own little market.
Went to a carnival with my 16-year-old cousin, and he was standing in a line, and a girl walked up to him and just handed her phone to him with Snapchat open. He added his Snapchat to it, and that's how flirting goes for the youth these days.
Wait. They didn't even talk?
She's like, can you add me, or can you put your stuff in?
Like but they talked first, and then
she just walked over, thought he was cute, handed her phone. Snapchat was open. He just did his thing. She walked away.
Wow.
Shut up.
That's how it happened. Yeah.
Girls are just walking up to them and handing them their Snapchat.
Yep. So that's what they use. That's what the youth is using. Yeah.
It's
funny because it came out when we were in our youth, but I feel like it didn't stick as hard as it is with the next wave.
Yeah, we had options, and we had like a lot of, and we kind of stuck with some of the stuff. We stuck with the lamer stuff.
Yeah.
It used to feel slimy at first because parents just thought it was strictly for nudes because the pictures disappeared, right? So at first you're like, oh, am I like in trouble for using Snapchat. So there was like
dirty
that weird.
I think what it was is like at the time I used Snapchat. I used to use Snapchat a lot. And then I think I just migrated over to Instagram like fully when the stories came there, because I was like, well, everyone's already over there. Plus that, like I never really like taught to many people. And then
I actually remember talking to my friends about this because I never used Snapchat, and Instagram hit the stories up, and I was like, yo guys, I don't think Snapchat's gonna I don't think any of us are gonna use it anymore.
No.
And it's because I was on Instagram already. I don't use a lot of social media, period.
Yeah.
So.
But Instagram's now like the fail. Now Instagram's like kind of like the carbon copy
So
of everything.
1 out of 300 people bought in the first 6 weeks. What do you guys predict will end up being the actual number of premium subscribers versus free?
Is it an annual subscription or is it like month by month? Do
Month.
you guys know? So like
I think.
like I feel like I would try it once, be bored, just wait for the feature to be mass released, I guess, because the feature, I don't know how many things are going to keep gated. It'll be one of those clout things eventually. It's going to be how much can they entice people to actually pay the subscription, right?
I think they'll probably get like, so out of how many
330 million. I think my number is 9 to 10 million. That's based off a 3% conversion rate.
Mm-hmm.
So
I think it's pretty smart on that, and I think they are definitely going to I think people want to support Snapchat because I think people really like the platform.
they like the app.
Yeah.
It's not like Facebook and Instagram where you use it and you hate it.
Yeah.
It's weird. Like you have like this relationship with the Meta apps where it's like, I use you, but I don't like you.
I feel like Snapchat people just love, like people really love it. So they're okay with supporting it.
1 million people subscribed in 6 weeks.
Yeah.
It's pretty impressive.
So the next snip is a quick bonjour from for our French Canadian listeners, because Meta launched its Horizon Worlds platform in Spain and France, as well as a hot photo of a VR Zuck with the Eiffel Tower.
Dude, this might honestly be the cringiest thing that Zuck has ever done.
Okay, tell me, what did he do?
You haven't heard of this?
I just what Storms told me, but I don't really know.
Okay, so you need to click on the picture. So like go on the Snips thing, go to 3, click not 3A, just go to 3. It's about .fb.
So I'm looking at the Facebook post right now. It says, we're launching Horizon Worlds in France and Spain today. Look forward to seeing people explore and build immersive worlds and bringing this to more countries soon. And he's standing in front of the Eiffel Tower and then like some building I can't even identify.
It's it's a cathedral or something like in Spain. Like it's a famous monument, right? But like what everyone's been clowning on Zuck over this is because he like imagine if you invested billions and billions of dollars into a future and this is what it looks like.
It looks like trash.
That doesn't even look good if it was on Roblox, dude.
Yeah, it's horrible.
Like, Zuck is probably the worst at brand deals. Dude fucking scored a brand deal with France and Spain, and like that's what he posts.
Zuck's trying his absolute hardest to be Steve Jobs, and probably hits himself in the face at home when he's like looking at this. He's probably like, fuck. Like
He's on Twitter seeing these like troll posts.
100%. Because here's the thing, Zuck actually responded
But
to this by showing.
We'll get to that in a second. We need to talk about that. So if you're not viewing this on the screen right here, how do you even describe this picture? So like, first of all, like think about a PlayStation 1 game maybe, okay? Think
Less.
about
Less.
Yeah, like we're talking about like Nintendo 64. Now
Nintendo
imagine
64. That's good.
No, imagine like Mark Zuckerberg in an N64 game taking a selfie with the Eiffel Tower and this cathedral that's in Spain. Sorry, I'm so sorry to the viewers of Spain. On like just a flat grass landscape with a blue sky, and like they're
Look at the hills.
Looks like a giant caterpillar.
The hills look like a giant caterpillar.
The trees.
And
How do you climb one of those hills?
And it doesn't even show off what like VR is like good for, like kind of like showing epic 3D buildings at scale, because Zuck looks almost as big as them.
Yeah, he look disparate. It's like he dropped them as objects and then turned around and took a selfie. He didn't even scale them up.
Dude, it's like that. It's the most cringiest thing I've ever seen in my life.
And this is how you're launching Horizon Worlds?
This is
how you're going to say, we're coming to your country? Your whole country, millions of people have access to this, and you're going to show them poop?
it's so laughable.
They could have hired Tomorrow Inc. to run the ad here. We would have done something much better.
Dude, like I'm pretty sure you get better. Like you can get better graphics in Like if he went into Roblox and went into a world, he might have honestly gotten like a way cooler pick.
Okay, but he has since responded to this.
Yes, so he has like that, and I feel like it's pretty rare when Zuck responds to this type of stuff. So
he was getting trolled though, right?
Oh, you're getting trolled epically.
So he had to respond.
So do you want to say it, Lee, or do you want me to?
Yeah, well, so basically I saw that he basically posted and said, "Hey guys, major updates to Horizon and Avatar graphics coming soon. I'll share more at Connect." Also, I know the photo I posted earlier this week was pretty basic. It was taken very quickly to celebrate a launch. The graphics in Horizon are capable of much more, even on a headset, and Horizon is improving very quickly. So basically, he's saying, "I just took a quick picture for the launch." Well, dude.
So what's the picture? Sorry, that he there was a picture with it too.
So he uploaded a new picture of himself, and he looks like, you know,
Tony Hawk.
Yeah, yeah, literally. We're talking like NBA 2K20 graphics. Like they're better.
No, it's like 2K like 14, man. Like that's PlayStation 2.
Well, I don't think you realize how bad the graphics can be in NBA games sometimes.
Oh,
like he's not a star player. This is a bench warmer. These are bench warmer graphics. But he looks better. Like he has like, you know, shading, and you know, the other one didn't have any lighting. Like there was no shading or lighting effects. So this one is, and then he showed a picture of, I think maybe it's like a environment in Spain, and it's significantly more real looking.
Yeah.
But it's just funny. He's like, the photo I posted earlier was very basic. It was taken quickly. Like he just like this is the kind of like when I tell a client, like the photos on your website are placeholder. We just put them in there quickly before the launch. It's like, dude, you run fucking Meta. Why did you spend 2 minutes setting up the scene for this photo? You know what I mean? You have a whole marketing department. Hey guys, I'm going to be posting a picture that will get 1 billion impressions to market our flagship product for the future of our company. Can someone spend more than 5 minutes making something decent?
Yeah, like what do you think? Why did the CEO like go into like Horizon Worlds?
Listen, if I'm working at Meta, I know now when to leave. I know now
Sheryl
it's
Sandberg just walked out of a bomb, man. Like
yeah, like you know what? Probably Sheryl Sandberg was his Twitter his post filter. You know, ever since she left, he's like posting Unchained.
Dude, that it was like it was just seriously so cringe, man. Like I was like, it was because I kind of do believe in the future of VR, but like if I showed that to if my dad was on Facebook and was like, this is that VR thing you were talking about, right? I'd be like,
so embarrassed.
I'm going to crush my Oculus Rift.
Yeah, that would be very disappointing.
I have one thing here, Lee, I wanted to show you. I gotta find the tweet for it here. This TikTok is going viral over Twitter. I'm posting it right here, and it's talking a lot about kind of startup culture and how much do people working in tech actually work. So, Lee, I'm going to, if you can play it on the.
Is this from David Sachs? Awesome.
So what it is it's a day in the life of a 23-year-old living in Chicago working in the tech industry. I'm pretty sure it's at LinkedIn. And I'll let the rest be for itself.
Let's watch it. It's quick.
Oh, man.
Okay, listen. This chick went on vacation.
Yeah, dude,
at work.
Well, people were saying it's like when's the tech bubble bursting? Like that's adult daycare.
So listen, the tech bubble is bursting right now.
Yeah.
It's right there. It was not sustainable. They hired way too many people. And here's the thing. The reality is, how many employees does your company have? Oh, you have 500. We have 1,000, right? When you print money and you are getting, all this venture capital and then all the investors that
you
are.
have to be as enticing to people as possible. But devil's advocate here. At the same time, we didn't actually get to see what because there was a couple of
she skipped from breakfast to
lunch.
1 second scenes, right? But I am curious to see
how much work she got done.
Yeah,
I want to listen. Okay, if we skim through this,
entertainment at the end of the day.
If we skim through this, okay, she grabbed some stickers. She opened her laptop at her desk. She got breakfast. After breakfast, there's no scenes of work.
She probably did work though. She just didn't.
She just didn't show it. But here's the thing: is how do you have time to go do a face mask during office hours? She's eating multi-course meals, and
there's a couple
going.
Scenes. You're right. It's hilarious.
It's not a lot of meaningful work.
No.
And the thing is, yeah, they're all allowed to work this way. But the thing that people don't realize is that there is a huge bubble where you've got these companies that are printing money and paying back the original tech investors. The tech investors want to go make even more money, so they go invest in a bunch of seed stage, Series A, Series B companies. Those companies start running LinkedIn ads, Google ads, Facebook ads, whatever, to grow their business with this, investment fund cash, and then that pumps right back into the original the company again. So all this money is just like flushing in and in and in and in, and it's like it's not there. It's not value, right? And so I think when David Sachs tweeted this, he says, "Does anyone still work?" Certainly, there are tons of people that still work, but there's certainly a lot of fat that needs to get cut.
Well, you know what? Someone as well said, and I think this might have. I'm just reading a reply here, and it says, "This is carefully crafted PR aimed at recruiting. You know this."
Yes.
And you know what? I could see that because at the end of the day, if I'm a programmer, say, or like maybe a marketing person, I don't care. I just want to know the perks. Like I know what I have to do on a day-to-day basis.
Yeah.
But it is.
You don't need to see code.
Yeah, it is hilarious at the end of the day because it does come off as like, especially in today's climate, like this is what people are doing for jobs.
But you know what the thing is that yes, this is that, but also there is tons of content like this across the entire sector from tons of people about what their jobs are like. And the thing you'll notice right away when you look at specifically SaaS product companies is the amount of people they have to accomplish very little. Mm-hmm. Now, you and I know, like we've done the opposite side where we haven't had enough people, right? Yeah. We built software, pretty much you, me, and a designer and by ourselves and launched to market 500,000 users. And one designer, one developer, right? One product owner. And we got a tremendous amount done. Like we was like a lot of hitting the pavement every day, working hard, head down. And I think what happens in these huge companies is like they have so many people that everyone's contribution is so inconsequential. It's just so small. Yeah. And it's so laborious to do something so small over time. And that's, we talked about Sam Bankman earlier. He's actually, the number of people he has at his company is like orders of magnitude fewer than competitive
for sure.
But exchanges.
At the same time too, though, it's like part of it is like it's a way for you to get more talent because it removes the talent away from other people. So like again, like these catered lunches, these catered breakfasts, these face masks, like it looks silly because it's like why do people even want that stuff? It's so that people why do you think people jump from Google to Twitter to LinkedIn to startup for perks? And that's that's why it's so expensive to raise money for startups.
But does it also highlight potentially a unproductive workforce? Potentially.
I just again,
you don't think that the tech space is potentially like a little bit unproductive?
There definitely is. Like I'm not going to say that there isn't, right? I mean, you have to define productive, I guess.
So just allow me to clarify here. I believe companies have 50% or more employees than they're supposed to have to accomplish the same thing.
So you're saying that if you halved their workforce, they'll be just as productive?
In software.
Okay.
I think software companies are twice as big as they should be. Mm-hmm. And this is that's a general term. There's tons of companies that are lean. There's tons of companies that are big and need to be big. Sure. I'm saying just generally speaking, I think the sector is twice as big as it should be.
Mm-hmm. Here's the thing. I thought the video was hilarious because from my point of view and with the caption, does anyone still work with that kind of thing in mind?
It's funny.
It's funny to think that people are just living these luxurious adult daycare lives. But I think that video served, well, actually, I don't know if it necessarily did serve because it's getting clowned on a lot, but I think the purpose of it was to attract people to that type of work style, especially for women in tech, which is not something that is too common at the moment. So I don't know. Do I agree with your statement? I don't know if I do 100%, but there definitely is some aspects to it.
Okay. I got one more snip for you before we wrap up, guys.
Okay. So this is an official Tesla video?
No. This is CyberOne from Xiaomi. Have you guys seen this already?
No.
Guys, this thing, watch the ad. This is real. They demoed this at a conference. It's a 3-minute long video.
So what's happening? So right now I'm seeing a robot fall over multiple times.
That's the whole video.
Wait, are you serious?
That's the whole video.
This whole video is this robot falling
I am
over.
not kidding you. This tech company, released their first I don't know what you call this, a humanoid robot at their conference.
Should I just stop watching this
Sure,
video?
you can play it in the background while we're talking. This robot just walks awkwardly through this landscape, beautiful landscape, and continues to biff. Continuously biffs right till the end of the video. And that's how they demonstrated the robot. And basically said, we've got this robot and it's still figuring out how to walk. And they did this just before Tesla's demo day, which has now been extended. So they moved it to the original date, September 30th, I think. Let me double check that. Yep, September 30th. It was supposed to be August 19th, so it was already supposed to have passed. And apparently, this is what the rumors are, is that at Elon Musk's AI Day, sorry, not demo day, AI Day, Elon Musk is planning to unveil the Optimus robot.
Okay.
So this company is just saying, hey, we've got a humanoid robot too, just before they released theirs.
Yeah.
And they call it CyberOne. And CyberOne is not that great at walking, as you can tell.
Yeah.
But CyberOne actually has, I think it can understand like 40 different human emotions, and is like, you can communicate with the robot.
It doesn't. I mean, I'm looking at it now, and CyberOne. It's definitely like not like I'm not like blown away, but I think the ad is kind of cool. Like it's trying to add like a human touch to this robot. Like it's trying to make me feel bad for it.
What's your reaction to CyberOne, the robot?
I think it looks kind of cool. It's kind of human, but I'm not too impressed. We'll see how it comes.
Isn't it weird to release a robot to the public and then instead of showing it do something cool, like show it continuously falling on its face?
I think it's actually pretty interesting. I think it's kind of a cool approach to it because I think it's like
being more honest.
I think it's just being honest. I think it's adding a more human layer to it, and I think that's what's going to get people to trust it. But I could be wrong as well.
Interesting, getting people to trust it. I think the story here is that they're trying to say is like we have a robot and it's learning, just like you.
That's what I was
fell
thinking
when
too.
you were a kid growing up. Our robot is also falling because it's young. But I thought it was just so weird, like to create. Like, in the video, I kind of was envisioning like by the end of the video, the robot would have like figured it out and started running, and like eventually jumped over something. I kind of saw this.
Like doing high jump. But
But they just didn't get there. He just kept biffing till the end of the video, and that kind of fucked with me. I was like,
yeah, I did kind of like it though. It was kind of like watching WALL-E almost. Like how WALL-E kind of messes up with his machinery.
But then he does shit.
What?
But then he does shit by the end of the movie.
Yeah. He saves the world.
Saves the world. This robot literally did dick.
Dude, we just watched the prequel.
Yeah. It's Wally making it. All right, well, time for the meme.
Yeah, that's Walter.
Memes.
Yeah, hop on over there. So this
How
is
many
direct.
times have you ever had family members called the memes?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Really? Memes?
Yeah, because like when like memes were like new, like everyone knows what memes are now, right? But like back in the day, there was
meme.
yeah.
They
or
still call
meme.
them memes.
Memes.
And
But that's like a funny because it was like an ironic thing, and now.
But they're not doing it ironically.
Oh.
Old folks.
Older generation. But like,
Boomers.
I'm like, hey, do you guys not like when you're talking about memes, you're talking about good memories, Like,
That's what I'm thinking too.
But they don't use that language either, so they wouldn't know. Yeah, so this is directly correlated to, or connected to, I should say, Lee's first story about Apple taking over the ad industry and how Meta is enduring Apple's privacy changes. And it shows a knight who's well equipped. He's ready for battle. They're like, okay, like we're going to face Apple's privacy changes. And then right underneath that, there's the tiniest little eye hole slot. And that's where an arrow pierces the knight. And it says Apple announcing a VR headset.
It's just funny because like you just know like. Because it's making it seem like that's just like the Achilles heel, you know what I mean? But like
the one little gap in their
like,
armor.
It's not a little gap. As soon as Apple releases that, it's freaking over.
It's a huge gap. And also, this arguably could have also been, it could also say instead of Apple announcing a VR headset, the arrow could have been Apple announcing its ad program, right? And taking some of their market share as well.
Oh, well, that's a debate.
We didn't cover it this week, but Apple just announced that they're going to have another event, and they announced the graphic. Maybe we'll cover that next week.
Headset, do you think?
I hope
quick
so.
Take, quick
I don't
take.
know.
Quick take. I mean,
I don't think so, but I hope so.
So here's what I'm looking at. I'm looking at this picture of stars. I'm thinking it's the iPhone release date. So there's two things I'm thinking. Number one, astrophotography. So I'm thinking maybe like your camera will be able to take pictures of the moon and stars and
Like
shit.
it'll be that good.
Especially with all the people, all the astrophotography news lately. People love space. The second thing is maybe it's metaverse.
Oh,
right?
That's trippy.
Maybe the space is the metaverse, and it's like I think it says like there's like a what does it say?
But
There's
what
like-
if metaverse is just kind of bullshit though? Like what if that's just like Zuck had to coin that term? I feel like Apple's not even gonna like I don't even think they're gonna call it metaverse.
Yeah, they can't. But I think it says far out. It's a bunch of space
Yeah.
stuff, stars around the Apple logo. And it says far out.
I mean, it has to be about space photography.
You think so?
Yeah.
Yeah. But can we dream that maybe
Oh, I'm gonna be dreaming.
that there's like an AR headset play here as well, or a VR headset play?
Oh, I'll be dreaming.
They're starting their own rocket company.
Hey, can you imagine? You all thought we were making a car, but we made a self-landing rocket.
And for only $2.99, you can get it. Awesome. What a great episode, Lee. Felt like a lot to talk about.
Lots of stories. So it was a jam-packed week, like we said.
Yeah.
Stormy might have some fat to cut.
Yep.
But other than that, it was a great episode. Thanks, guys, for joining us again for after a week off. And if you're listening and you're still here, don't forget to give us a review on all the podcast platforms. Give us a follow on Instagram, TikTok, and YouTube. And send us your feedback. We're always looking to hear from you in the comment section below or on social media. What you think about the podcast, what you'd like us to do. And that's pretty much it for me.
This was our silver episode, right? 25th. So that's a big anniversary, right?
25. That's
I don't
a
know
big
if that's
deal.
big for
Love
us,
that.
but
That's a quarter century.
yeah.
We'll see you guys at 50.
See you guys at 50.